we take like the most extreme example of the mother unconditionally loving her child. The fact that that child was born to her is a condition, so it's not really unconditional love. Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Today we have a very interesting philosophical question to ask, and one that I have actually been thinking about for a long time. And it is, do women like you, for who you are, or what you do for them? I first started asking myself this question back in university when I began to become more social. And the way that I tackled becoming social was very, on one hand, just very intuitive and wild, and just talk to people and just experience it, because I hadn't been so social before. But I also was analytical about it because I was a majored in philosophy, and so I always tried to break things down like Aristotle taught, to your first principles. The first principles of any field or study, you think, what are the underlying questions behind what I'm doing? And so I wanted to become more likable. I was very clearly going for that. I wanted to become popular. I wanted girls to like me. And so I had to ask myself, well, what would make people like me, and what would make girls like me? And the conclusion I came to was, well, I need to become a guy who is likable. So I need to find what it is that women like and take those principles and those behaviors and those attitudes and make them my own. And some of them were already within me, but then I needed to grow them and amplify them. And so I started to, become more funny, learn how to have a good conversation, listen well, show someone that I'm interested in them, but also be sexy, etc. So I always believed that women really only like you for what you do for them, and that people really only like what you do for them or how you make them feel. And their idea of you is what they connect with just as much as the person that they're actually interacting with in person. This did cause some cynicism in me for a while, where I had to digest the idea without getting angry with it. So I would functionally adhere to it and use it, but then I would still be a little bit like, okay, well, does anyone truly love me or know who I am? Then I thought, okay, well, how are they going to know exactly what's going on in my head? I can try and communicate as much as possible, but they're going to make their own assumptions and guesses, and I'm going to make mistakes, and they're only going to have one meeting with me. And then I gradually just accepted the fact that they're never going to know the true depth of who I am, and I'm always plumbing those depths. And so I can't very well expect them to truly like me for me, because they might not even know what that means. And furthermore, how could I ever say that I like anyone else for more than what they do for me? So now let's go into the ethics of this. So the question is, do women or people, so that we can make this more general, do people like you for you or for what you do for them? Now, one of the conclusions I came to early on in university when I started to ask myself this question was, well, is there any way for someone to like something that is external to them? Okay, you like what you do, they like what you do for them. They like that you make them laugh, that you make them feel cool and understood, that you're an interesting person to watch and be around, you have a good energy. Okay, that's for them. At what point would they be enjoying something external to themselves? Well, how you interact with others, right? They have to be watching it or hearing about it in order to make that judgment. There has to be an observer to know that it went on, or at least be told that something went on for them to observe it. So they can watch how you interact with others, or learn about an achievement of yours, or watch you give a speech in class, or learn that you secured a business deal, or a guy could learn how you hooked up with a girl, or a girl can know that you hooked up with a friend. Or they can see things external to themselves, but they can appreciate it, or not appreciate it and not like it. Well, as they are hearing that story from someone, or watching you do something, or they're telling you what happened, and you're thinking about it and imagining it in your head, you're still experiencing it through your own self. You're thinking it, you're hearing it, or you're seeing it. So the filter is still the self. So the conundrum that I had was, well, okay, the question of even would they like me for me, or what I do for them, even if something is external to themselves, they're still enjoying watching me, or enjoying thinking about something that I did, or not enjoying it, or hearing a positive or negative story, and then thinking about it. And the process of experience of the six senses, the five normal senses plus your thought and your imagination, well, these are being filtered through the self. This is what we call the self. So where is the room for them to like something for a different reason other than what you do for them? So I don't think it's possible from that analysis, and you could give me a counterexample if you'd like, but I don't think you can find one, where they are liking you for any other reason, or disliking you, than for what is enjoyed or not enjoyed through their own experience. Now, going back to women and taking this as a female to male perspective, does this make you feel upset because you think that there is always a motive behind people's actions? Well, she only likes me for the emotions I give her, the laughs I give her, the sex I give her, the experiences, the feeling of camaraderie and companionship and bonding and all that experience. She only likes me for the fact that I give that to her, or that she sees me have these values that she thinks are important to her, and so she is attracted to me for that. Well, that's all that she can do. So you can be upset with it, but it doesn't make it not the truth. And you are included in that necessary relation of experience and observing and the subjective experience. So you are just as guilty of whatever criticism you would have to that reality. So you are just as guilty as any other woman for being selfish in the fact that you spend time around the friends that make you laugh. You like spending time with a friend who is very successful with business, and you're inspired to be around them, or they know something about a specific field that I'm sure a lot of my friends, yes, they like me for this reason and that reason, of course, and I wouldn't spend time with them if they only saw me as, okay, he can teach me about girls, or he can do this for me or do that for me. But I'm sure that a lot of my friends do benefit from the fact that I have a lot of experience with girls and also teaching men, so that I can usually, in almost every situation, give them good advice on how to deal with a relationship or with a girl. Should I be mad at this? I can be, but it's part of who I am. It's my actions, it's my thoughts, it's my experiences. So if you are going to be mad at this reality, well, then that's just how it's going to be, but you're just as guilty of it as she is. So I don't think it is possible for someone to like you for any other reason than what you can do for them. Every action is motivated by something. Even if we take like the most extreme example of the mother unconditionally loving her child, the fact that that child was born to her is a condition. So it's not really unconditional love. Unconditional love would need to be no one is spared from your love and your light and your glory. So we are all, even the most beautiful example of a mother and her child, subject to the selfishness of existence. And while that may be difficult to understand and to come to terms with, and you will need to sit with it for a long time, it is the reality. And so it would behoove you to accept it. And once you accept it, then you can play with it and benefit from it. And you can use it to your advantage to, well, okay, if I want friends, or I want companionship, or if I want love and I want sex, I must be giving something. There you go. I want people to love me for who I am. Okay, so you want something. Well, you have to give something in order to receive it. You're not just going to get love and affection and unconditional, undying loyalty simply for the fact that you exist, you have to also give that loyalty and that respect and that love, or you have to inspire that admiration in them from seeing how you live your life and who you are. So even the question itself was hypocritical. And now that we've gone to the founding underlying principles of the question, we understood that it is hypocritical, but it reveals a reality that we can use to our advantage. So become a sexy guy and become charismatic and learn game and learn how to have fulfilling relationships and how to be kind and empathetic and understanding, but also learn when to walk away. The whole game. This channel, like, subscribe, fucking ring the bell. That. Okay, and you'll learn how to become that person. Now, of course, there is the, okay, Hector, Mr. Philosophy, how do we get real about this? You know, I'm just saying I want a girl who appreciates me. Okay, well, that's fair. Well, then you need to watch for girls who are only liking you in certain scenarios. When you're the cool guy in the room, when you're being very confident and successful, when you're making money, when you have lots of friends around you, when you're sleeping with other girls. But then when these things fall away, when you remove variables, is she still attracted to you? Now, if you remove too many of them and you complain that, well, she's not attracted to me anymore, even though I'm not fucking her good, I'm not talking to her anymore, I'm not spending time with her, well, what do you expect? She's not gonna stick around for a deal that doesn't give her anything. That's you wanting free shit. And that's not reality. You're not gonna get free shit. You have to earn everything. But of course, like I said, if a girl is only sticking with you when you're winning and isn't there when things are not going so well, and I've sometimes put little tests to see who would be real and who wouldn't, where I was not going through a good phase, financially. I couldn't, go on a little vacation with a girl or do this or do that. And I would tell her, one girl in particular, we were long distance, and so I'd fly her out. And I said, this month I can't afford to buy you a ticket. And I was thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna see if she's gonna get upset, if she's gonna, start demanding that, I find a way to do it, or if she's going to start to pull back emotionally. Well, what this girl ended up doing, she said, okay, no problem, I understand. And I thought that she was gonna buy a plane ticket, but she also didn't have enough money to buy one. So instead, she bought a bus ticket, and she went on a bus for 24 hours to see me. And that was all the evidence I needed. So you can pay attention to those around you and see if they are with you when you're losing and you're winning, and if they have values and if they are kind and compassionate. Of course, I know that's the true motivation of the question. So yes, pay attention to people and make sure that they're liking you for what you do, but what you do is going to be your base values and your normal behavior, not when you're just doing great and everything's going well. But always remember that, yes, people are ultimately, in the most extreme philosophical perspective, they're liking you because of what you can do for them. So take that principle and use it to your advantage and become that person that is attractive to others. But also, you should be not going to the extreme of that and just becoming hyper business mindset about everything, and you should be giving people benefits of the doubt. You should be trying to probe deeper than what people are showing you and understand that their motivations might be good, but they're not good at expressing themselves, and then they're trying their best, and some people are shit and some people are looking like shit, but they are good people underneath, and it's going to take time and paying close attention to understand who is the good and who is the bad and who is the mix. And once you start approaching socializing and relationships from that perspective, you will be realistic in that you understand that everyone needs to get a good deal, but you're also going to be compassionate and empathetic and be trying to see beneath the game and be doing your best to give to others and to be empathetic and compassionate. And that is going to give you a more giving energy and when you come from this perspective of people need to be getting things from me, whether it's an experience or, advice, or for them to feel fulfilled in our relationship, well, if you understand that, one way to look at it is everyone's a selfish asshole and everyone's just out for themselves and what they can get from you. But then if you take it, the same philosophical truth, but then you see it from how can I give to others and give them the best experiences and the best camaraderie and the best sexual romantic experience possible, or best, I can be the best son possible, or the best brother possible, the best father possible, then it's an almost perfectly selfless philosophy. And so what once was causing you cynicism and depression can then cause you to become very beautiful and giving. So see it that way. Okay, cool. Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com, here to tell you that everyone likes you for what you do for them, and that's okay. Okay, like, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on Instagram. See you soon. Ciao.